Hello, I'm Sister Jane Will, a member of this Benedictine community here at Ferdinand, Indiana. And as I think back about my call to this community, actually the decision was made when I was a sophomore in college. As I kind of reviewed my life, I remembered when I was young and my brothers were attending grade school, Catholic grade school, St. Teresa's. My mother did a lot down at the school, and I wasn't in school yet, but she took me along. And it seemed that, I met the sisters, and they were always very pleasant and, little girl, and very, very just genuine and nice to be with. So then I started school, and once again had Benedictines, 8 years at St. Teresa's in Evansville, Indiana. And I know during that time, we had sisters that were talking about vocations and all. And they would ask the question, how many of you want to be sisters? And I know I never raised my hand. I wasn't quite sure. And I didn't know. I thought, well, if I do, they might just grab me, take me in there. And I was not at that point. So, but I do know, as I think back over grade school too, I was influenced. Things were happening. I saw the sisters around. We lived about 3 blocks from the parish and the school. And the sisters would go walking, and they'd come past our house, and I just noticed they were having fun, and they would speak, and we'd talk a bit. I also knew that they prayed a lot. Saw them at church, of course we prayed a lot too, as they took us to church and had our religion classes and all. So through the years of grade school, as I think back once again, I know that the Benedictines had a great influence on me. I saw them working together too. They seemed to share their work. And as I think about that too, at our house, everybody worked. We had appropriate chores according to our age and all, but it seemed like we pitched in, and that's what it seemed to me that the sisters were doing. I didn't know anything about Ora et Labora at that time, but only upon entering and learning that that's an important motto for the Benedictines, that I realized, yes, I like that. That's been a part of my life, and it seemed, it has continued, and that's been a real blessing. When I was in high school, I went to Rex Mundi High School in Evansville, and we had Franciscan sisters. Well, once again, I still was not thinking about convent or being a sister. I really had in mind that I'd get married and have a family, and that would be very fulfilling to me. And so I do remember, however, so there must have been something that was a little noticeable. One of the sisters did ask me in high school if I ever thought of being a sister. And I said, oh no, I love children. Of course, she reminded me that sisters love children too. So then, with graduation, I went to college. And it was toward the end of my freshman year in college that I began to wonder, maybe I could, would want to be a sister. I felt that call. I didn't say anything to anyone, but I did pray about it. And I prayed in such a way that I realized I wanted to be open to God's will. Of course, during that process, I think I wanted to do a little bargaining. My patron saint, St. Jane Frances de Chantal, was married and her husband died. And then she actually started a community herself. So I toyed with that idea. Maybe I would get married and my husband would die. And then I could go to the community, join a community. Well, I soon realized I think that was chancing it. So I was going to have to pray about this and decide and make a choice. So after about a year, I decided, I think that I'm being called, and I think that the best fit for me and where I will find happiness in developing who I am would be as a sister. And for some reason, I think because of the roots that were planted when I was in grade school, there wasn't much decision. Benedictines felt like the place for me. I think that I saw them as very down to earth, yet educated women doing great things. And I felt like this could be the place where I could grow in love of God and others.